I think the Pentagon's evil in general, so I still got to hate the guy who runs it too. But this Katie Porter, if Gavin Newsom goes to run for president, somebody's got to take over for him, right? Somebody's got to somebody's got to mind the shop while Daddy Gavin's away. So a lot of people think that woman is Katie Porter. Now, I've never heard of Katie Porter before today. I doubt that many of you have heard of Katie Porter before today. If you're a fan of ours in California, you might be rubbing your hands together and going, oh God, we're going to talk about Katie Porter. I can't wait. Like, that's kind of how I felt during the election. I was like, oh boy, people are going to find out about Tim Walz now. Oh God. I was kind of excited because the rest of the country could then empathize with Minnesota, and I wanted to see that. So this is Katie Porter being asked by a reporter what she's going to do to attract Trump voters. Now, this is a very triggering question to ask a lefty from California. But the fact of the matter is, you do have to re-enfranchise these Trump voters, because there are Trump voters who are like lefty people. They're like Bill Maher Democrats, where they're left of center, and the parties kind of went way further to the left than they're comfortable with. So they might have turned to Trump. There's some of those Bernie bros who became Trump people, at least in 2016. I don't know about now. So you're going to have to bring these people back into the fold, because once Trump's gone, these people aren't necessarily Republicans, because Trump isn't a small government guy. I was watching Nick Fuentes on Dave Smith's program, and I've still got an hour left of their conversation. They did a 3-hour show together yesterday. It's mildly fascinating, but Dave goes on long-winded rants. How dare he? But I was watching that interview, and Nick made a good point. He said, Trump is not a small government conservative. Trump is a nationalist. I mean, except when it comes to fucking Israel. But Trump is America first, at least in his rhetoric, right? So America first does not necessarily jive with, small government conservatism. Remember, Trump was a Democrat for the majority of his life. So this Katie Porter has to bring some of these people aboard. Not only does Katie Porter not have a plan on how to bring Trump voters aboard, she's offended by the question. Now, we got 2 Katie Porter clips today, and I promise you're going to love her.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general.
Well, here's the thing. In California, don't you get to vote for a fuck ton of different candidates? Remember that one year, the porn star was running, Mary Carey or whatever. Gary Coleman was running. Wasn't that the year that Schwarzenegger ended up winning? So in order to just win your primary, you're going to have to get some of those people.
General election? Yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
Wait, what? I don't intend that to be the case. So I guess in California, they have a system where it could be 2 Democrats running against each other. And, maybe it should, because a Republican's not going to become governor of California anytime soon. But you do need these people. This is a dangerous thing, whether you're a righty or a lefty. This is a dangerous way to think that, I don't need those fucking people. Because, that's how you set up 2 countries. That's how you set up 2 states. That's how you drive people further away from each other, is you go, fuck them, I don't need them, so I'm not even going to try. I'm going to rely on my people, and they're going to... even Trump reached out to young voters who maybe weren't Republican. Trump reached out to the voters who could be reached. He didn't sit there and go, we're just going to have Republicans. He's big on independence. And like we said on 2016, big on trying to get the Bernie bros. So, for all this shit that conservatives catch, that they're so intolerant and they're so this, they seem to be doing a lot more outreach to the other side than Democrats do. And they're getting shot for their trouble.
So how do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
You do. You do need them to win. Because like she said, if it turns out to be you and another Democrat, and that Democrat goes and hustles a bunch of Trump voters, and all you're left with is a portion of the Democrats, you're going to get your ass kicked. She deserves to lose. I hope that she takes a fucking beating because, politically, of course, because she just seems like one of these people who gets in power and just wants power. Like, she doesn't seem like someone who wants to find out what the public needs and then addresses the needs of the public. She seems more like someone who goes, this is the way I want things to go, and I will drag the public to where I am. And I don't necessarily like that.
So you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
the question?
How are you going to attract Trump voters? That's the question. You're the one who turned it into a cunt fest.
Is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm...
That's not what you said, though. No, you didn't say that. I think I do appreciate that she realizes her answer was a fucked up, stupid answer, and she's trying to walk it back. But just say you're walking it back.
I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those voters.
She gave... Oh, my God, go back. She just gave up on the answer. She's like, no, what I'm saying is, fuck it. You can see fuck it on her face.
Answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And what I'm saying to you is that...
Well, to those...
She did a fucking eye roll.
Voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Okay. Thank you.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Oh, God damn her for doing journalism. Isn't that funny? Politicians have gotten so used to journalists kissing their ass for access that when someone actually does real journalism, which is a shitload of follow-up questions, which means listening to the person you're interviewing and responding, you're like, I'm not going to sit here if you're going to ask me a bunch of follow-up questions. Imagine that being a thing that someone running for office just said. I'm not going to sit here if you're going to ask me a bunch of follow-up questions.
Every other candidate has answered.
I don't care. I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if
how fucking dare you? I want to have a nice, pleasant conversation. Well, I'm sorry, you're running for governor. You're running to be in charge of the entire state. That state is just getting away from a governor who helped drag it into the 7th circle of hell. I apologize if I have questions for you that aren't a hot stone massage.
Every question, you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And
Porter,
we're just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never
reporter.
had to do this before, ever.
You've never...
Right, because you're a liberal in California. Of course.
Never had to have a conversation with
to end
a
an
reporter?
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of... I'm me. I'm running for governor because I'm a leader. So I am going to
So you're not going to answer questions?
Okay. The reason she's asking follow-up questions is you keep giving platitudes. She's asking you for specifics and you're going, I'm a leader. Why? What makes you a leader? I'm not going to sit here and answer follow-up questions. Fuck me. You want a sandwich? You look hungry. And by the way, I am the first one to jump on a journalist who's being cunty and being shitty and purposely trying to antagonize. She's doing none of that. Like, she's doing, and I don't know her political bend, and that you're not supposed to. I think she's doing a remarkably professional job. This is in no way like a gotcha.
From reporters? Okay, why don't we go through? I will continue to ask follow-up questions because that's my job as a journalist, but I will go through and ask these, and if you don't want to answer, you don't want to answer. So nearly every legislative...
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you. And I don't want...
Oh my God, California is such a pussy state. I don't want to have an unpleasant experience with you. Could you imagine Nixon saying something like that? Like, I'm thinking of other governors of California or congressmen from California. Ronald Reagan, I don't want to have an unpleasant experience with you. And Nixon wanted unpleasant. I want this to feel like you're being sodomized with a rake. Like this, I don't want to have, what a fucking soft state. And a soft state where people like this want to be authoritarian. So she wants to be soft when she gets pressed, but she wants to be able to tell everybody else how to live. Fascinating.
It's all on camera.
I don't want to have an unhappy experience with you either. I would love to continue to ask these questions so that we can show our viewers what every candidate feels about every one of these issues that they care about. And redistricting is a massive issue. We're going to do an entire story just on the responses to that question. And I've asked everybody the same follow-up question.
I'll go to the chat here and you guys can give your opinion. I don't think that lady did anything bad. I don't think she did anything wrong. I don't think she was being antagonistic. I don't think she was being particularly challenging. You could not confuse that woman for for like a Republican or a Trump person or anything like that. You're not. Balls Deep with $2 says a real leader would have stood up and walked away. That's right. That's right. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says you are drawing out the reintroduce, retain, or retotted. I don't know what that means. Thank you for the buck. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says it's sad this lib hog is a California too, but still hotter than any Minnesota chick Aaron has landed. That is unnecessarily hurtful, Tie-Dye. I'm going to stop clicking on the links you send me on Twitter. Joey Caravello with $2. I think most of that comment is hate speech. I hate this fat, ugly, and then the last two I don't believe I can read. $1 from King Kong Dong says, did she star in Billy Madison as the principal? It was just a stunt. He was supposed to pinch my leg if he was running short of air. Don't worry, we're not done with old Katie Porter. Katie Porter is not done yet. Tolkien Study over on YouTube says she almost said, what part of I'm not doing this don't you understand? I was just going to say, I thought that was coming too. My God says, what happens when there is another wildfire? I don't want this to be unpleasant. It's funny. Yeah, just like, hey, we're in an energy crisis here in California, and there's also droughts in the South. How do you plan to address those? Look, I don't want to be a dick. Good God. Jason Puck liked my Reagan and my Nixon impressions. Chalk that up as a win for the Toe. Thank you, Jason. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Tolkien Study says, Toe, did you see the clip of one of her? Yep, we're getting to that one next. Jerry Shepardini says, good reporter, and that C will try to ruin her career. I agree. I don't, she's not going to get, and this is why journalists don't stand up for themselves as much anymore. They crave that access. They want that access. They want to be in the governor's press secretary room. They want to be in the White House press corps, and you don't get that way by being dickish. Like, think of, okay, and I know he was a super cunt, but that Jim Acosta guy at CNN, he pressed Trump. He was really tough on Trump, and what happened? He got kicked out. He got kicked out. Chips and Diff says, I will stand up for April with that last comment. I don't think you need to. Let's go ahead and do this, this next one. Oh my God. The dirty rat went nuts on Balls Deep. He's, holy shit, somebody hurt that boy. Dirty rat, go ahead and show me on the doll where Balls Deep touched you. and we'll be able to help you out. 609 is our number right now, according to Rumble Studio. Thank you guys very much. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Rumble's doing great. YouTube's bringing up the rear a little bit, but I think you guys can get this taken care of. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Those YouTube numbers are going up, but they're lagging a little bit. Rumble, you guys keep hitting thumbs up. Let's get in that algorithm. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that, 617. We're bouncing up. We're bouncing up. Thank you. What do you think about over 700 today? That would be over 700 twice in a week. I would really, really like that. Like, subscribe, follow, etc., etc. We do have leaked video. So usually what this means is after something like that Katie Porter interview comes out and, people start to go, God, this lady's a fucking bitch. Somebody who's close to her or was close to her at some point will go, I've got some stuff. I've always hated her. People are finally starting to see what a bitch she is. I'm gonna drop that video. So somebody dropped a video of Democratic California gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter yelling at a staffer to, quote, get out of my fucking shot. So for those of you who think, Aaron, maybe you're being a little too hard on this Katie Porter. Maybe she's, she just had a bad day. This was, this isn't her personality. She was just feeling a little stressed from the campaign. Okay, I get that. I understand. Let's take a look at this. This was obtained by Politico. It shows a government recording between then Representative Katie Porter of California and then Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm. So this would have been during would this be was Granholm in the Biden administration? Because I know Granholm was in the Obama administration.
You ready for stat number 2?
Oh, July 2021. So this is in the Biden administration.
I am.
All right. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy.
Okay, this is one of my problems with lefty politicians, because I've been telling you guys that, like, I watch Sam Cedar, I watch the Young Turks, and I don't watch it to hate them. I generally want to hear their ideas. I think Sam Cedar has some interesting points on, like, for example, Social Security. I think he's got some interesting ideas. So, like, I'm not adverse to lefty liberal ideas. I'm not. And some of them I kind of like them, especially when it comes to wealth inequality and shit like that. But the way they talk to people, it's so condescending. It's so authoritarian. I don't like that when they try to talk to regular people who are not necessarily any less or more intelligent than they are, they talk to them like they're 8. Like Jennifer Granholm is talking about this, and she may be right about electric vehicles versus combustion engine vehicles, but it's just the way she's talking to people like this is a preschool class. And 632, that's the amount of money you'll save when you have an EV. You guys are going to love electric vehicles so much. I've got one. And it's just this condescending way of speaking that, you got to cut that shit out.
Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned.
You know what you need? You need Phil Hartman as Bill Clinton eating McDonald's, explaining Somalia to people. Warlords.
I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UC.
Not technically. I mean, we do have a fiat currency. It's backed by debt. But I understand what you're saying.
We have a national fuel.
So take a look on the right side here. You're going to see this staffer kind of wander into the shot a couple times.
Research center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who.
Oh, okay, I get it. Starting to kind of understand now. I think I kind of get Katie Porter.
really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution.
Okay, so here we go. There's a woman, and remember, this is COVID, so we've got a mask on. We got to make sure we're masked up, especially in California. Also, when you say if we don't switch to electric vehicles, 600 people are going to die, this is the kind of shit that makes people hate you. Okay, win your argument on ideas. Win your argument on, hey, this is good for you. You save $600. And if you don't, you're going to kill old people. Like that. Stop it. Stop. That's manipulation.
And other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shop.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris.
Oh, God. Oh, no. So Katie Porter was giving some incorrect information. Her staffer comes in just to tell her, look, that's not accurate. The truth of it is this. Don't say that. She was not happy that this lady walked around in her shot. You ever seen those videos of like news guys back in the COVID days or the weather guys, and they're doing their stuff from home, and like a little kid, their kid will wander into the room while they're doing their Zoom call, and they're like, oh, how you doing, buddy? Hi. Oh, good. Yeah, no, I'm working right now. And then the kid leaves the room, and then they're good, and they make a little witty banter out of it. One of her staffers comes in to let her know she's fucking up, and she throws a hissy fit at her. Oh, my God. I mean, it's better than Hassan Piker. He would have just put a shock collar on her and electrocuted her, I suppose, but still.
Surely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
These people are fucking crazy. Look at how effortless it is. Look at these reptilian, lizard-eyed fucks. Look at how easy it is for them to go from get out of my fucking shot to, all right, anyway, I'm going to start back with the electric vehicles thing, and then we're going to cruise right back into this. All right, let's make lemonade. They're just, they're not human. Like they're off. They're just off in a different way. That woman was just coming into the shot to let you know you're giving information that's incorrect. She's literally doing her job, which is helping you stay on message, and you're screaming at her. And then she does that thing where when people know they're wrong and they blew up, so they start to find like secondary rationale for why they did what they did. So instead of her going, I'm sorry, I blew up at you. That was my problem. I'm on with the energy secretary. This is stressful for me. Instead of that, she goes, no, but you were in my shot before that. And she's going to do fine. She's going to be great. I'm going to tell you this. There is going to be more and more of this that comes out because in America, whether you're Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, moderate, one thing everybody loves is when these people get smacked the hell down. There's definitely going to be more leaked video coming out of this Porter woman. The blood is in the water. And you know that someone with this personality inside the Democratic Party, there's people who just hate this lady's guts. And when you're running for governor, the knives are out, especially in a primary. You're trying to shank these people and get them out of the race. So I don't think that's the last clip we're going to get of old Katie Porter. We got another dollar from Coltrane. Says, allegedly there is a video of this Katie cunt throwing potatoes at her husband. Please tell me that's true. If you can find the link of her throwing potatoes at her husband. Wait, she said she's a single mom, though. Main Vein with $1 says, Aaron, please do your thing where you tell us if that ugly hog came into the local town bar, we'd all fuck her. Now, wait a minute. I only do that for women who are objectively decent looking. I don't expect any of you to have sex with that woman if she came into the local bar. Jesus. Conditioner on my D says, Katie, you forgot your talking points. Go again. Get out of my fucking shot. Get out. What are you doing? Just trying to help your flabby ass. My bad. I'm going to go work for Newsom. Bitch. Oh, man. Joey Caravello. That's not necessary. It's just a bunch of actresses he wants to have sex with. Jesus, some of you guys are nasty. This gets weird. You guys get weird. I'm just going to say it. Sir Schweinhund says, it sounds like she is plugging an ad for Tesla or some shit. How much is she getting paid? Yeah, I mean, it is that condescending way of talking to people. George F. says, California's only hope is the big one. Now. I mean, do we really need to, does it need to be the big one? Do we need to do this? We're jumping up. Look at this. Every time I check the viewership total, it jumps up another 10. 6:30, which is time to go to the dentist. No, I'm sorry. 6:30. Keep it. Guys, it's working. Rumble, you're doing great. YouTube, you're stagnating. Hit thumbs up, hit share, hit subscribe. Keep retweeting on Twitter. We keep going up. I want to hit 700 today. Look at that. Now we're pushing 640. Keep it going. Thank you, Rumble Studio, for not crashing today. I've got no complaints. In fact, I don't even think you guys know that we're using Rumble Studio today, which is nice. MSO says, by the way, I love the shirt. I know you're being a dick. M. Anderson says, Sacred Toe is our favorite that's not sure. I'm not a registered. Jesus Christ. Where on the doll did I hurt you? M. Anderson is another one that I think I need to apologize to. I think I busted him too. I want to see this potato video. I need to know. I don't know if that's a movie reference I'm not getting, but I need to know that Katie Porter threw potatoes at her husband. Katie Porter potato. This is mashed potato Karen, a.k.a. Katie Porter. Representative Katie Porter scalded ex-husband's scalp with potatoes? Fuck yeah. The former husband of Representative Katie Porter said the California Democrat frequently abused him verbally and threw toys, books, and other objects at him during their marriage, even pouring scalding hot mashed potatoes on his head during a fight. Their marriage was a fucking Hanna-Barbera cartoon or an episode of The Three Stooges. Matthew Hoffman, who filed for divorce from Porter in 2013, said in a request for a restraining order dated April 30th of that year that he was routinely called a fucking idiot and fucking incompetent by his rage-prone spouse, who also shattered a glass coffee pot on their kitchen counter in March 2012 when she felt their house wasn't clean enough. Sounds like a lady problem to me. So she's a potato chucker. Okay. This sounds like the temperament you want to run your state is the lady who pours scalding hot potatoes on her husband. She just seems really, really pleasant. She just seems like a really nice person. And I agree with Sakamoto Shinanomi. What a waste of mashed potatoes, right? I mean, I would have taken those mashed potatoes, I would have put them right in my pockets, and I would have brought them to a nice, healthy, happy home. I really can't. Look, there's a lot of things that I'm against. And one of the things I'm against is mashed potato abuse. I'm not going to stand for it. I am officially not endorsing Katie Porter